Attorney Andrew, also wanted to comment on. Okay. What up, Mike? First things first. Pod Save America has ruined Brian Beutler's brain. He just published a piece in Crooked Media about how Joe Kennedy is the perfect foil for Trump. Because one, his speech sounded a lot like Obama's, blah, blah, blah. Two, his message is so broad that it can do anything. Right. Second, can I suggest that you try to get Alex Press on TMBS to discuss her latest piece in Vox about Me Too and carceral feminism? Yes, it's a great idea. I'm a big fan of Alex Press. Yeah, like you think maybe like you could write a piece about like Joe Kennedy III was like our boss, like President Obama, who was our boss, and he was like Obama, and yeah, man, Trump's just really bad.
Friend of the pod,
Barack Obama. I do a segment for TMBS patrons where I do periodic Pod Save America impressions, and here I'll give Pod Save America some props. They're for centrist media. I think they're pretty forthright. Like, they understand that it's not just Trump on some level. They understand Mitch McConnell's a scumbag. They understand that Fox is a pure propaganda network. They understand some of the more kind of structural corruption of conservatism in America. But often their diagnoses, and at the same time, paradoxically, their willingness to like give Evan McMullin this, this platform to just be like, Evan McMullin, like, how do we resist? I mean,
what are black sites like, dude?
What are black? Yeah, exactly. What about woke black sites? I mean, they're just, I mean, look, all of the Obama people, I say this all the time, on a personality level, they're all a lot more normal than the Clinton people. They're all a lot less repulsive, but their politics suck. It's still the same stuff. And we don't have to go into dum-dum territory and say it's all the same thing and there's no difference and all this. That's ridiculous. Neoliberalism is an order of magnitude less damaging than right-wing populism and fascism. At the same time, there's no doubt that the utter failures of neoliberalism and the trend towards authoritarian neoliberalism have helped set the conditions and destroy vital left movements that could have resisted the predicament we're in now. And the idea that your answer is to just go back to the same state of play is, it reveals people that always are going on about how non-ideological and pragmatic they are to be in their own deep state of ideological blindness.
It's interesting to think about. I think it'd be worse. First of all, it wouldn't be called Pod Save America if Trump didn't win. But under a Hillary administration, I bet you their content would be much less, even more insufferable.
Oh, God. That would all just be like, I think like Keith Ellison. I mean, he's a great guy. He's like, President Obama really liked him.
But do you really need to pose with an Antifa?
Yeah, but you really need to like, I feel like, Hillary's, all right, like here's what Hillary's trying to do. She's trying to move through like a package. Like, granted, it will be like a massive repatriation thing, and Apple or whatever won't pay their taxes, and that's Paul Ryan, and he's like a dick or whatever. But like, she's also negotiated like a 2-cent surcharge on oil taxes in northern Pennsylvania, which will fund like an anti-smoking initiative in Ohio, and that's just like the sort of like pragmatic governance that like I feel like all too many people don't support anymore. Next up is Susan Rice with why whatever Hillary's latest military adventure is totally rad. On Pod Continue America.
I was listening to Drew McGarry talk about something on the Deadspin podcast, and he saw Foo Fighters at a venue that holds 6,000 people in D.C.
Okay.
And he said it was great. The next night was the Pod Save America dudes, and they sold it out. It's like...
That's insane.
They're on par with the Foo Fighters.
We're not going to survive as a species. I mean, if ever was your moment to just sort of like do a little bit of an inspection of your intellectual infrastructure, like it is amazing that people like, they go through this whole experience and every like technocratic myth is blown apart and their response is just like, yep, I'm going to double down on that shit. And the whole other lesson about Obama too, to me, and in some ways it's a great compliment to Obama, is like, a whole model that's built on like the secret sauce of all of the analytics and all of the strategy and all of the machinations. It always rested on the fact that he's an unbelievably charismatic person that people generally like. The only people that really don't like Obama are people that are so racist, like the average Republican base voter or the Trump voter, or certain people on the left who couldn't, like me, I like Obama personally. I don't like him in many ways politically, but I like him personally. So you basically had a guy that so many people could just say, like, you know what, he's a pretty good dude. And they tried to run that same campaign with Hillary Clinton, where the secret sauce is an unbelievably charismatic figurehead. And I mean, just even that sort of complete, like they actually,
and you feel like they feel like they thought that worked when the whole like Hillary on her phone thing was going. Like they're like, let's just lock in Obama. We got Hillary, and everyone's into her looking at her phone on a plane.
Yes.
And then
nobody
never
was.
never. Well, people were for a brief moment.
Well, people were here.
Right,
I think that's the thing that they didn't. Again, like I'll be Thomas Friedman-y. I have had conversations in people not in New York, not in media, people who are fucking normal people, and including ones with some relatively conservative ideas, and they would say, you know what? Obama's a good guy. I didn't always agree with him, but felt comfortable with him being in office, blah, blah, blah. I have never met anybody outside of this world that likes Hillary Clinton. I haven't. I know they exist, and I understand that she matters for some people, but yes. Your memes and your Twitter feed are not evocative of like the desires of a vast majority of normal people.